I'm Stumpy Nubs, this is Mustache Mike, and we're about to take you behind the sawdust. Let's get started with the woodworking news. Tom Iovino wants to know how you store your tools. The nosy little son of a gun asked that question in a recent Wood Whisperer poll. He uses a 6-drawer mechanic's tool cabinet, which he prefers because he doesn't like to see his tools after he's finished with them. Well, almost a week into the poll, and the vast majority of respondents say that they store some in the open and some in the closed, while 14 people choose the I don't care option.
Furniture maker Greg Clausen received a special honor this week when his trademark tabletop design was featured on the cover of the German magazine Exact. Although his work has found its way in a number of magazines and galleries, he says he still can't believe stuff like this is happening. If you've never seen his work, you should check it out for yourself.
It's not often that a woodworking book keeps your attention from cover to cover, especially one written in the days before digital photos and cute little blurbs filling the margins. But Graham Hayden has found a book that he couldn't put down. It's called Time, Taste, and Furniture, and it was written by John Gloig in 1925. The book impressed him with its strong narrative that feels like conversation, which greatly helps the learning process. He particularly enjoyed the book's second part, where the author wrestles between hand tool work and machine work. I was able to track down just a couple of copies on Amazon.com, if you're interested. I'm not selling them, they're just on there and it's first come, first serve. There's a link to them in the show notes.
It's all about the balance, no trouble. That's my take on what Graham Hayden says in an article about his longing to work with hand tools like modern masters Peter Folensby and Tom Fidgen. But let's face facts. That's a lot of hard work and requires a ton of time. So it's often difficult to balance your desire to explore the craft with the constant pressure modern woodworkers are under to use the latest machines. He seeks to put your mind at ease with a simple reminder. You don't have to use only hand tools to make a lot of historically accurate projects. You'll see what he means in his blog below.
Where have the shop drawings gone? In a recent Lost Art Press blog, Chris Schwartz points out the regrettable fact that there are very few construction drawings for pre-industrial revolution furniture. Why is that? Did the old masters want to conceal their secrets? Did they simply work without drawings? Or were the drawings lost? Chris seems to think that the latter is the most likely scenario. In fact, he believes that the plans are out there, they just don't look like what we today would call furniture plans. A prime example is found in the archives of the 18th century furniture firm Gallows of Lancaster in London. It's full of drawings for the various pieces that their craftsmen produced, but few are as complex as today's modern plans. Why that is, and what Chris learned from it, is something you'll have to read his blog for yourself to find out. Buy tools on eBay. That's what one of the biggest names in hand tool woodworking says. Paul Sellers has taught fine woodworking for decades, and even he buys many of his tools from the online auction site. That's because high-quality tools were made in massive quantities over the last century, and within an hour or so of cleaning and tuning, you can acquire a new tool for a few dollars that would have cost you many times as much new. He goes into it in more detail in the article, and we've linked to that in the show notes below, but one thing is for sure, you don't have to be a millionaire to have top-quality hand tools. Keep that in mind next time you're in the market for something new.
Inventables has begun shipping out their new CNC machines, and it promises to be a real game changer in the fast-growing industry. The X-Carve is designed to be simple, but yet affordable, but also upgradable. A person who starts out with a small model can easily turn it into a large one by changing a couple of rails, allowing the machine to grow with you. Many of the parts are also upgradable, and the whole thing is designed specifically to encourage the users to make their own improvements. The best part is you can start out with a fairly inexpensive machine, then add to it as your budget allows. Even though he's not a big CNC guy, Stumpy was so impressed that he decided to get one for the shop. We'll try it out extensively and report back down the road.
Everyone knows that we at the Stumpy Nubs Workshop love the work of Charles Neal. His skill as a fine woodworker is nearly unrivaled today, but his recent class has really taken it up a notch. Since January, he's been teaching subscribers to build a Clista Ann tall desk. We're 10 episodes in, and I've already learned more than I think I have in any woodworking class before, online or otherwise. I can't wait to see how this thing's going to turn out. If you're interested in learning fine woodworking using power tools from a real master, check it out in the show notes below. This is a subscription-based service, but it's well worth it.
I don't always know what they're making, but it sure looks cool. An old page at askwoodman.com contains a collection of YouTube videos featuring Japanese woodworkers. These are true craftsmen, often honing their skills through decades of hard work and dedication. They may do everything backwards, like pulling their hand planes and saws rather than pushing them like we do, but their work is something to see. And you can see it in the link in the show notes.
Well, that about wraps things up for this edition of Behind the Sawdust. Be sure to check out StumpyNubs.com for all sorts of woodworking goodness, especially our amazing woodworking plans. And don't forget, we're airing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. So until next time, you can sit back and have yourself a cold one, because you've earned it, my friend.